My name is Cookie Stoner. Welcome to Cookie Stoner Presents. We're in segment 1. I always have to announce that just so people know we're segment 1 with Natalie Johnson and Madge Atkinson. Pastor Madge, who has been a guest before, and we were actually laughing, having a real good time. And we have Keats because everybody else had somebody to love here. So I went in my little Keatsy here. Actually, he was scratching to get out his little stroller because yes, I'm the lady with the stroller in Decatur with my little dog. But we have been having a good time. Y'all are fun, and welcome to our coming out series. And I hope he doesn't drive you crazy. But he was kind of just wanting you to continue to pet him. But thank you for being here on our coming out series. As we have said, this is a very important series. Not because I don't know that we're trying. Well, maybe we are trying to change minds, but we do want people to know that that first of all, that this isn't just something that you just decided one day or, look at there you go, Madge. And if you try to jump off, Keats will get you. But this isn't just something you've decided, but that this is who you are. And now you ladies have been married for how long? This is your wife.
Yes.
Yes, and y'all been married. I know that Madge told us, but this is your interview. How long have y'all been married?
What, we got married, 2014?
May, yeah.
May 2014?
Yeah,
I love to watch.
met.
This is going to be fun to watch y'all.
Well, we met each other in May
Yeah.
in 2014, and then we got married May of 2016.
May of 2016.
Yes.
So, okay, so y'all been together, and I know you told us how long y'all been together. Look at Keith, is like, okay, I'll just keep doing this. And I know you love animals
Yes,
as well.
I do.
And apparently you have on this Bleeding Heart shirt. I love that.
Yes.
Mainly because you are a compassionate, good person. And when did you know that you were gay? We're just going to go ahead and ask you that.
Yeah, hindsight, 2020, all that kind of stuff. I remember kindergarten, that sort of thing. I was brought up in a religious way that if you think about something, that you're already sinning. So I didn't allow myself to think about that, which is kind of odd. But I learned to mimic from watching other kids. It's like,
To fit in.
yeah, well, if they were talking about crushes, that's what you're supposed to do at this age. So we'd talk about crushes or writing a guy's name in a book, over and over again.
So-and-so. And
Yeah.
Now, how old are you?
I am 48.
48. So y'all are about the same age,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Look at- See, I remembered.
She's 11 days older, so.
Okay.
Keep track of that.
And she is not going to let you forget about
Exactly.
it. So your story is...
Well, it was difficult. My parents do not accept me.
Still to this day.
To this day.
So do you not have any relationship, or do you have...
Their faith shows that we can't have a relationship.
Okay.
We do special occasions like holidays, share,
Are you
exchange
included?
gifts.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm allowed to attend family functions, but would be by myself.
Okay.
So it's tenuous at best.
Cool. So you're 48, and you did say, I know that we were talking about it before, that you were 20. No, you were 40 when you came out.
Yes, I was in my
that's right.
20s when I came out to most people.
To most people. So you've known since you were younger, but in
Yes.
your 20s, but you finally, so did your parents ever have an inkling, or they just...
I'm sure they did. I mean, I didn't do a lot of that fake dating, which was real popular in the 80s, 90s.
Right.
It was like pretend to have
Like
a
bringing the
boyfriend.
guy home
Yeah.
or whatever.
I didn't do a lot of that. So when I finally, part of the reason I waited for so long is because we weren't super close anyway. But then it was kind of like I didn't want to hear that. It's just a phase. So when I came out at 40, that was kind of like they did mention, they had ideas.
Oh, so they
before.
did say, okay.
Yeah, because I was always a tomboy, and I was always had female friends mostly and stuff like that. But it's like once you name it, then you can't really take it back. They could always you could live in a certain type of denial until you know for sure. So.
Okay, so did you sit them down, or did you just sort of, it looks like it was a story.
Well, no, it was probably a roundabout way of doing it. I wanted to get a lot of stuff out there because it was such a religious thing, and I do have my own faith.
And that's something we want to talk about, as we did with Madge as well, is part of your... And with many of our people, we, as I said, we're open to all faiths. We're all open to, and as you all are in your church, and we're so excited that people have found out about you all and have started attending your church. because of seeing this or
Yeah.
because of some of our Facebook. So that makes me happy and thrilled to be a part of something and to helping someone find a faith-based place that they can feel comfortable in. Say that 10 times. But so I want to talk about that, in one of our segments as well. But so your sort of self-denial in the beginning had to do with your religious upbringing. Do you mind if I ask, or does that matter what your what your upbringing was, or does that matter to you?
It really didn't. I was kind of brought up non-denominational.
So just real conservative.
Until a point, and then we kind of changed to a fundamentalist church.
Okay, fundamentalist.
Which is very more extreme. Women shouldn't wear pants and the whole 9 yards.
So extreme in all things. So certainly no homosexuality.
No.
Certainly none. So you lived this life. You came. You said a roundabout way in telling your parents. How was that?
Well, I wanted to be able to explain to them the reason that I was telling them was because I'd been kind of convicted on not being honest. Because you're hiding.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to explain it all. So I actually wrote because I do much better with writing.
That's exactly what Asher, in one of our other segments, said, that actually wrote a letter.
That's what I did, but I actually sent mine via email because being in the same room would be too much.
Well,
so
sure.
it was kind of like you send it to 2 people at one time and
Let them deal with it.
Yeah, and they responded separately. So
Wow, what was the response?
not good. It was very we love you, but we can't have a relationship with you, and that sort of thing. So.
Because they feel that you're sinning?
Yeah,
And do they feel that having a relationship with you would be accepting of a sin and they can't be a part of that?
That's pretty much how it goes, yeah. You have to, in that particular type of faith, you have to take a stand. It's like the tough love kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
Because they have to show others, because that's much more important, their faith and relationship than it would be their, and you obviously seem to respect that, but I'm sure it's very hurtful.
Well, I knew from the beginning, before I came out, I knew how it would be. That's one of the reasons I didn't tell them, because I knew it would give them a choice they would have to make, and you don't want to put somebody in that decision.
Right. Was it also that you didn't want to lose your family? Did you feel like once I say this, but you said you weren't really close to them, but did you feel like once I do this, then that's...
I just thought it was going to cause them undue hurt.
So this really was, so it was a very unselfish thing on your part. You just didn't want to hurt your parents.
I didn't, and because I knew how they would feel about it. But kind of about the same time, my sister-in-law passed away very young, in her 30s, and she was very accepting and open, and was always kind of encouraging to, it'd be nice to do Christmas all at once, because we used to do 2 Christmases, one with a family, and then one where me and my partner could come to. And so it was one of those things where she actually encouraged more of that. And, when she passed, it was kind of like, it wasn't really her last wish, but I kind of felt like...
Well, you obviously, too, like you said, I think she obviously talked a lot about honesty. And, and for me, I always say that honesty and trust is my love language. So, and that can be not just in a partner or a relationship, but also in in my marriage, but in my friendships. If someone, that's kind of, doesn't mean I put you back out to here if I start catching lies. It's kind of like, okay, that's a deal breaker for me. I would almost rather somebody do something than come tell me and then be done with it, and then be deceptive. Deceitful, deceptive, So so that was sort of the reason too, that you thought it's not just about being who you are. I mean, that's I think quite important, but that shows a love for your parents as well, that you want to be honest with them and say, this is who I am, and I want you to get to know your daughter.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it too is, when you lose somebody close to you like that, it always reminds you of how short life is.
And so let's just go ahead and be together and talk about this.
Or have some time if you know it's going to be difficult. Now you've got some time for maybe to go through a bad part and still have time for the good part later on, or whatever, once some acceptance comes. But.
Okay. You know what? On this segment, I do want to end up on this segment. We kind of jumped into it because we're having a great time, and I was hurting my dog and making him. And y'all are fun. We are, we were laughing when we were running a little bit later in the night, which is always, it's, for me, I think it's a great problem to have that I have, that we've had interviews stacked up, and I love that, and I love having to work around people's schedules because that lets me know this is important, that this is a Friday night, and this is important enough to you guys to come and, as is for me, to talk to people and tell people about your stories. And even though I know this is on such a small scale, the people I've had reach out to me who are either who are gay, who don't feel comfortable yet, who are older, they've been out for years and they still don't feel comfortable. Or I even had a mother reach out to me whose child was on one of our segments, who was so kind and gracious and talking, her child was so kind about her, and she even as a parent said, I was not as kind as my child made me out to be. And so she felt she's not, I don't think she's ready to talk on camera yet, but this has started and I hate to use that the cliche of started the conversation or the dialogue, but it has. And even if we just have an effect on just a few people, then that's enough. I mean, that's what life is about. So we'll finish up this segment with this, and then we'll come back on the second, and we'll keep talking about you, Natalie, and your journey, and then we'll end up talking about y'all's faith, y'all's marriage, and we'll go from there. How about that? You're an old pro at this by now. We'll be right back.